Hello, my name is Jacqueline Waller, and I'm with Connecting Atlanta, and I have Darryl Walker Sr. on the line with us this evening, and he is going to be going over on how to develop a business plan. He originally wrote an article with me, how to write a business plan, and basically, I'm just going to go over the first part, and then I'm going to ask Darryl to introduce himself and his background. But when you make the decision to go into business for yourself, which is an awesome decision, however, it encompasses a lot, one of the first things to do is to start developing is your business plan. And that also helps you write out your vision statement. It helps you to stay in direction as to where you're wanting to go with your business, and it also helps you to focus on your core values of your company, so when twists and turns come, you can always go back to your business plan and say, okay, is this the direction that I planned on our company going? Is this the direction where I see us going? If no, it doesn't fit within your business model, then you don't go in that direction. You stay within the direction that you've originally set up, and it allows you to stay focused and stay continued moving forward, and it helps you to develop your company. So, Darryl, hi. Thanks so much for joining us today. So tell us a little bit about who you are, your company name, and what you have going on.
Yes, and I'd like to say hello to you and those that are watching. I have a military law enforcement background, actually, and I'm also a ordained minister. I got started in business for myself probably over about 20 years ago in Ohio with a car rental company, and from there we had a management group that oversaw that car rental company, and then as time went on, ended up here in Atlanta, and over the last, I say, 8 to 10 years, I have been doing business consulting, basically doing strategic planning, helping ministries create a business overlay for what they do, as well as for-profit ventures as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you've been doing this for how long?
Here in Atlanta, the business consulting in the last 8 to 10 years.
Last 8 to 10 years? Okay, okay. And so you've been with us for we've been connected on Facebook now for a little over a year, I think. It's been about that long. And let's just go over a couple things. This is kind of how I do it when I do my vlogs. I like to go over some things. So some of the key components in developing a business plan you talk about is the company name and address, which obviously would seem so simple, but yeah, that is something that you may forget to put in there. Your vision, mission, and or purpose statement. So tell us a little bit about that. Like, would the purpose statement be like part of your mission or your vision? And tell us a little bit about like the 3 key components there, what each one really means.
Well, it actually, on the outset or on the looking at it, it can be viewed as the same. But the vision statement is the mission and the purpose. That is what your heart desire is, what your goals are. Your mission is what is the driving force. What is the services, basically, and the purpose is that no matter why you want to do it, why, regardless of what happens, this is what I want to do. So that's the way you look at it, and that's where you can see the difference in those 3 factors.
Okay. Okay. All right. And let me go back to that really quick. Where was I? Okay. And let's see here. So company and leadership background. So that's really talking about like your specific background and why you have those leadership qualities to run a business, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And then the product description, that's simple. You really have to know what product is you're looking to develop. And then your marketing plan. That is what our next blog is going to be on. So if you can write that for me as well, that would be fantastic. How to develop your marketing plan. So what would you say are probably some key components to that? Because I think that's also something that's really important. I know as much as I'm in marketing, but I'm more of an all-over-the-place kind of person, fly-by-night kind of individual, and I just kind of get a vision and idea and I run with it. But I never set a plan up, which is probably why I run in circles a lot. So what would you say is good and helpful for someone if they want to be able to create a marketing plan?
Well, first of all, you have to have a good strategic plan. That basically outlays your vision, your goals, in a step by step in a simplistic manner. Once you have that in place, then you can begin to look at your product. Then you begin to look at the various demographics. You begin to look at your cost overlays, your profit and loss. All that begins to go into your overall marketing status. Then, depending upon the product, you not only have to do a SWOT analysis, which is a major part of the business plan, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, but also even a PESTLE, which is dealing with the environmental. If it's a product that has something that you have to get cleared with the EPA, then you have to do a whole nother aspect of research that has to go into your marketing plan, because all that is a cost factor.
Okay. All right. So those are some of the things that you want to make sure that you have covered, really, which helps you to understand your business even more and know that if it's even going to be worth it economically for you to move forward with it instead of wasting your time. Yeah. So we talk about, and then you just talked about day-to-day operations plan. So, which I wouldn't even think about that. Like, so that really, so if you've never owned a business before, how would you even know like what your day-to-day operations would be like? How would you even figure something like that out?
Well, for those who never ran a business and is looking at running one or starting one, then they need to come to rcgconsultllc.com and we can help them with that. In the short end of that, again, it all comes back to your heart's desire, what your goals and what is driving you, why you want to go into business. When you can establish that and you can detail that out, that helps you even with the day-to-day, because you can't even build a good business plan without knowing your direction. That's where a strategic plan comes in. Again, I'm going to sound like I'm repeating a lot of things, but a lot of it hinges on a sound strategic plan. A lot of businesses, for whatever reason, do not plan. But as the saying goes, if you don't plan, you plan to fail. And I learned a while ago when I was pastoring in West Virginia. I was in state government as well, in the America's Promise program under Colin Powell. And that was one of the key things that he had taught us, and his team taught us when we were doing youth development in West Virginia. We had to have a strategic plan. That's really where I got into project management and strategic planning.
Okay.
And bring it into the church, because churches, whether they want to believe it or not, churches are a business, and they have to have a business side. They have to have a business ethic about it, or it will not prosper.
Right.
So, that's where I got all in that. But regardless if it's a for-profit or non-profit venture, it all starts with a strategic plan, and then your day-to-day operations will just come together out of that plan.
Okay, awesome. So let's see here. Competitor analysis. So I know that, well, sometimes, I know the day-to-day operations and stuff, but sometimes people just happen to come into something, they just start growing it starts developing, so then they eventually have to create their day-to-day operations, usually if there's been a hiccup in the business. So if that happens, that's great. You start making money and you just run with whatever it is. It just seems to happen that way. But sometimes if you have the ability to be able to create those day-to-day operations in the beginning, that's really great as well, because it helps you to stay founded and move forward with all that. So I like how you have this plan like just laid out here. We talked about SWOT a little bit, and then now let's go over the competitor analysis. So that's basically just looking at your competitors and analyzing like if it's worth it to go after them or what.
That is one of the most important aspects to the business plan, or even to the strategic plan. You have to know your competition. All right. Like I said, I come from a military law enforcement background, and I was taught in the military you have to know your enemy. You don't even know how to fight without knowing your opponent. Well, the same in business. You have to know who's out there doing the same thing that you're trying to do, or similar. And so if you put together a sound competitor analysis, then you won't be caught off guard. You know, this is why your major food chains and all. Well, I don't know about too much now, but they used to have the double coupons and the competitor coupons and all that kind of stuff because they knew what their competition had, and they could do their sales and they could base their marketing on their competition. Well, that's the same here in whatever product or service you're providing. You must know who's out there doing the same thing you're doing.
Right, right. Okay. Yep. So when I had started Clean Free Fun, I had started that before, like Living Social and Groupon. They just had experienced business owners and money behind them, where I was like a person that didn't know how the heck to even get started. But through networking, huh?
I know that feeling all too well.
Yeah. And just through networking and business development and God really like just kind of leading the direction, that's where it came into connecting Atlanta. And I definitely don't want to make the same mistakes twice, and and definitely be more organized with this. And anyhow, okay. So capital requirements, financial and or equipment. So what are the financial requirements? Now, a lot of businesses, like I've written a couple of blogs and so forth, starting your business on $100 budget. There's a lot of books out there on starting your business on a shoestring budget, a boot and strap, all that kind of stuff. So tell us a little bit of examples of like when you could start a business on a shoestring budget to when you actually really need an investor and a backing for that.
Well, again, it all comes down to the product or service that you want to provide. Again, in any instance, research. You have to know in the beginning. You got to research it out, know your product yourself, and then look at the components. What do you need to do to really start this off? It may look like you may need a major investor, but then you can do it with $100 to get to a point where you're starting to earn revenue, and then you can invest back into yourself.
Yeah.
But if you don't do the proper research and know your product and know the market and know where you are, then it's going to be difficult to make that determination, because everybody when they look at the business, they think about Google and they think about Microsoft and they think about all this money and all this awesomeness, but they fail to realize the research that goes into knowing your product. Like the niche market that we're going into now and starting to have a lot of success in, we've been at it the last 4 years. And a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Well, I actually basically threw in the towel. Me and my partner was talking yesterday. We came very close to just stopping. But because of vision and because of what God puts in you to just keep something alive, that's the basis. But then you have to research, know what you're doing, know what you want to do, and that will help you develop where you are and what you need for that to happen. And then you create your plan. You create a phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Phase 1, dealing with that $100 or less budget. But then once that money starts coming in, be it $5 or $10, like my mentor John Murray in Ohio says all the time, your first $5 you do hang it on the wall so you can see, because now you can go make another 5 and that makes 10, and then that 10 goes to 20, and so on. And as you do that, then you can see where you are, and then after say 90 days or 6 months, you re-look at your plan. Okay, you do an assessment on yourself. You see where you are, and then if you see where you're making so much, you reinvest it in, or then you start. Now you have a track record, you have a paper trail, so to speak. And I know our accountant is going to beat me over the head because the proper term just went out of my head. But with that,
that's why he's your accountant. For him to remember that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, that's why she is my.
She.
So with that, once you keep a pulse on your business, stay focused, you'll know how to determine how to use your revenue that is coming in, and you know then how to be able to go and get investors because now you have funds coming in.
Yeah.
But
A friend of mine had, I'm just going to share this really quick. A friend of mine had posted this up on Facebook that I shared. Hopefully you can see it. And it says, success is an iceberg, and people see the top of the iceberg, but what really happens is all the risk, focus, goals, persistence, failure, and massive action and sacrifice happening on the bottom of that. So no one ever sees that. They always see the other stuff. So, but we're gonna go ahead and stop that. There we go. But anyways, yeah. So it's kind of funny because you never see all the hard work that everyone puts in, and the blood, sweat, and tears. You only see the success up front. You know what I'm saying?
right. And that iceberg is a very good analogy to what really goes on.
Right.
Nobody sees what I call the blood, sweat, and tears.
Right. Okay. So let's see here. There's capital requirements, financial and/or equipment. We talked about that. Financial statements. So creating your financial statements. So what example? Like what are you talking about with financial statements?
Well, in the beginning, it is what some call them pro formas, but they're no more than just financial projections. You have to look at, you detail out. Again, you go back to your strategic plan of what it is you want to do. After you've done your research, now you begin to put together, you itemize every aspect of your business, from what type of office you need to office equipment to what type of equipment you may need, all of the above. When you itemize that all the way down to how many stamps you may need to do your actual mailings, then that creates your projection. And then I always suggest that you start out with a 1 year, then a 3 year, then a 5 year, and then if depending on the product and the type of business you're in, you may want to do a 10 year.
Right.
Those projections will help you see where you are. That begins to create your budget. That's all in what's called startup. Even your hours that you log in research. If you're fortunate enough to have a team like I am, as we have just threw the old way out and started over fresh, I tell my team all the time, track your hours. Track your hours, because once you start and revenue starts to come in, and if you're blessed to have an investor come in, then you begin to pay those hours first of all, because all that's part of startup. But you would not know what's going on the financial end if you do not have a sound financial projection. Those financial statements in the beginning, that's what creates the financial statements to be able to go to the bank or go to an investor or go to get a grant when they see there's a track record. In the very beginning, if they see how much research you put in, sometimes that makes the difference in the bank giving you that start loan. You know, a lot of banks do not fund, or a lot of, I shouldn't just say banks, a lot of financial institutions do not fund startup ventures.
No, but that's where crowdfunding and stuff like that comes into play.
Right, exactly. But if you have a connection in with a banker that does business banking, if he sees you've done a lot of research and it's detailed, that can make the difference for them in that rare occasion to give a startup loan. I have seen that happen.
That's awesome. And small business administration, SBC, stuff like that. Okay, and then confidentiality statements. Those are so important. Yeah. Now, even though I feel like they're really just a piece of paper, but it still does protect you in case you do find out someone breaches your confidentiality. And then that's really the only protection you have. But if you have a good idea, always expect it to be stolen at some point. But if God hasn't given them the vision, then I wouldn't really worry about it too much, because other people have, even with my other company, had tried to steal my idea, and they spent $10,000 one time. This couple spent $10,000 on their business, and then were kicked out. And I lost you, Darryl. Uh-oh. What happened? Hopefully he will come back. let's see here. Let's invite him back again. Okay, I'm waiting for you. Uh-oh. Not sure what happened. We're having thunderstorms here in Georgia. But anyways, I wanted to just go ahead and go over it. That was pretty much it. That was the end of it anyhow. And one of the other things, when you can visit him online at rgcconsultllc.com. That's rcgconsultllc.com. You back?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but I'm back.
Okay, yeah. All right, I was just giving them your website. Basically, we were just talking about the confidentiality agreements, and so I went over that. We went over that, and if they want to get some more information, they can definitely stop by your website and talk to you guys personally at
Yep.
rcgconsultllc.com. And where can they find you, like on social media, on LinkedIn, or any other places, in addition to your website? And talk a little bit about what you guys really do with your company.
Well, we are on Facebook. Our Facebook page is RCG, that's Roundtable Consulting Group. You can find our page there as well. We're listed individually, our executive team on LinkedIn, and we are expanding that. They told me the other day that they're going to beef up our social media presence. But we've been having, which is a good thing, we're having more clients come in a little bit faster than what we planned. So which is a good situation. So we had to put our stuff on the back burner so we could service the clients. I'm sorry, what was the other part of the question? I'm sorry.
Just how they can find you. What's your actual, because I'm trying to look up RCG. I'm not finding that. So it's RCG what on Facebook?
On Facebook, it was
RCG
Roundtable. No, Roundtable Consulting Group. Spell out Roundtable, all one
okay.
word.
Roundtable Consulting
Group.
Got it. Roundtable. All right. No, I'm not finding that. Do you know what it's like? Facebook.com/ Let me see. Maybe it's on your page.
I would have to get that to you. I don't know that offhand.
Roundtable Holdings Group. But that's not it either.
Okay. Well, Holdings is our parent company. But the one that has all of this great information is Roundtable Consulting Group.
I found it.
Okay.
I found it.
Should be a black and gold.
Yep, I found it. So it's facebook.com/ RCG Consult LLC, which stays consistent. Yeah, with your email and all that stuff. Okay, fantastic. All right, and so Facebook. Are you on like LinkedIn or Twitter or Instagram or anything like that?
No, not at this time. Most of our exec team, especially our information technology group, they are all linked individually, but they haven't created our corporate presence on that social media at this moment. So,
okay.
But they will be coming real soon.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Well, if you need any help with your social media, you can reach out to me. I'm always good with suggestions.
Well, definitely. I will have my son and his team be contacting you real soon.
Oh yeah, Junior, right? Darryl Walker Jr.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, he goes by Alex. He don't want to go by Darryl.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right, so okay, well, I will go ahead, and then you guys can actually read the full blog. If you go to connectingatlanta.net and you click on blogs, you'll be able to see the full blog there, along with some other ones that I've shared of other individuals and ones that I've written myself. And so that's really the basic highlights on how to develop a business plan. If you want a business plan developed, you don't feel like doing it yourself, please reach out to Darryl Walker himself, and allow him to be able to do that for you. Is there any last thing you'd like to share today for new or business owners that are looking for that encouragement to go to the next level?
Well, I just want to say that if they really feel it within themselves to be a business owner, I mean, it is an awesome decision. However, it's a lot of work that on the front end, and you're not going to see a lot of return right away. But do not let that discourage you. Stay with your heart, stay with your vision, detail that out, and come see us at Roundtable Consulting, and we'll help you with that. And also, Jacqueline, if you like help with the marketing plan, I will help you with that. I have somebody in mind that is an expert in that, and he's on our team.
Okay.
So,
okay. Well, if he wants to write the blog for it, he can. I need a blog written on it. And
I
then
will talk to him about that.
And then we can do a hangout with him as well, if he's open to being on the hangout.
Okay. Yes.
I can have both of you on it at the same time. Now that I'm an expert at this.
Okay.
All right, Darryl. Thank you so much for coming on, and I'll send you the exact link to this once it's done, so that way you can post it up. Okay?
Good enough. And thank you for the opportunity. All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right. Take care.
Have a good night, everyone. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to Connecting Atlanta. Again, you can check us out at www.connectingatlanta.net, and you can always find Darryl's website attached to the blog as well. Thank you, and have a good evening. Bye-bye.